These 8 words have made me and others millions. And after today, they might do the same for you. Hey guys, my name is Rahim, but I started my property investment journey a few years ago from nothing, no piggy bag, to building a multi-million property investment portfolio using these words. So whether you are a salesperson or someone having conversation, or you're in a job where you got to persuade people to take action, these words will not just help you get what you want, but also get you to a level that you would only dream of. Look, if you can invest 15 minutes of your time to learn how to communicate effectively to become financially free, I'm afraid you're not gonna make it. Have you ever had a sales call where your intention and the plan was never to buy anything during that conversation, but for somehow, whatever reason, you end up taking up a contract or agreeing to what that salesperson told you? That person may have used these words that I'm about to share with you. So what are these 8 words? 1. Investment. Most salespeople use the word price. Price is what you pay for. People associate cost or expense with price. But if you use the word investment, it brings a different sort of perspective in your client's mind. It instantly reframes spending as a growth instead of a loss. So always use the word investment rather than price. Number 2. Have you ever been in a shop, or maybe you had a contract, someone could ring in for a mobile phone contract, or maybe you were about to buy a car on a lease, people say you got to make a down payment. A down payment is the wrong word to use to your prospect. It feels like I'm putting something down, and then it doesn't feel like you're bringing anything in. As a salesperson, initial investment, it's a more appropriate word to use instead of down payment. So using the word initial investment only makes them feel like they're making an investment for a growth that would give them a return on their investment. 3. Monthly payment. Who really likes to hear the word monthly payment? If you are a client, you don't want to hear that word monthly payment. That is like you are in a commitment of paying something that might not add value to you. However, if you change that word to a monthly investment, it transforms the way your client thinks about their monthly investment. It turns a recurring cost into a wealth-building habit rather than a bill. It also makes commitment sound smart, but also people prefer to invest monthly rather than pay monthly. 4. Paperwork or agreement. You see, that word sounds a bit lighter than actually saying contract or application. It feels like I'm getting into a serious things that actually may require probably a solicitor, a lawyer, or a barrister to kind of look into it in order for me to be able to sign that contract, because it sounds so serious, and that sometimes puts people off. But paperwork/agreement, it sounds official and professional, but also build trust and authority in your marketplace. It also reduces pressure because calling it paperwork feels lighter than calling it contract. 5. Own, not buy. The word buy sounds like you're buying something, right? You have not already kind of owned it. But if you use the word own, you're entering in the conversation your client is already having, because you want them to think like they already own the product or services that you're about to sell to them. So it's a mindset trick for them to feel like they've already owned the product or services that you're selling. When you communicate as they already own that item, you are entering in their subconscious mind. They kind of believe that they own that product. All you need to do at that point is to tell them the benefit of owning that project. 6. Sign. It's one of the most troubling words salespeople use. That's why there's so many broke salespeople out there. Do you know how scary that is? Imagine someone sign this contract or sign this contract here. It makes you feel like, whoa, I'm signing my life away. What does this entail? What am I signing here? It makes the word so heavy, and people get nervous when it gets to that. You may have gone through all the objections, handling, you've entered the conversation of already having in their mind, you know their pain point, their desires, but as soon as you hit that word sign, it kind of pushes them back a little bit, thinking, what am I signing here? That's when the client is gonna say, okay, I need to read this contract first, I need to do this first. It makes it a lot more complicated when you use the word sign. But here's what you're gonna use instead. Give me your okay, put your approval, give me your authorization. That's what we call a gentle close, because you avoid the harsh word sign now language while still prompting commitment. Number 7. You're gonna love this one. Most broke salespeople like to use the word deal. Now, when it comes to deal, you'll be thinking, what? a deal. Am I winning? Am I losing? Is this really going to be a good deal for me? You're using a deal. When it comes to deals, like give and take, isn't it? Like you got to leave some of the stuff and you got to take some of the stuff, you got to negotiate. It just makes it so overwhelming for your client. So instead of using the word deal, you can use the word an opportunity. An opportunity brings value to what you're saying, but also you're providing a benefit to that client in order for them to get your product or services. An opportunity also triggers curiosity. People don't want to miss out on a good opportunity. So presenting an opportunity to a client as a deal is doing your client an absolute disservice. Number 8 is going to blow your mind away. This is where lots of sales derail. You've done all the hard work, you've gone through the discovery, you've gone through the pain point, you've gone through their desire, you've gone through their future, you've gone through every amazing thing. Every obstacle has actually been handled nicely. Only at the end where most salespeople drop the ball, right? They use the wrong word at the end. After they thought, oh, I've made this sale is going to be mine, and then they go and say commission. Wow. When you use the word commission, they're thinking, okay, I'm paying £1,000 for this item. Is the sales rep commission 300 or 400? Is he making more money on me so he can get higher commission? So that then get them to be a bit more, I need to think about this. So using that word, in most cases, derail your sales. It get the client to push back, because they're not sure whether that, as you would have called it, deal, is a good deal for them. But if you provided it as an opportunity and you present your commission, instead of using the word commission and say fee for service, it transforms the conversation, but also adds clarity. The client would understand they are paying for a value delivered, not a random charge that a salesperson has actually attached to that price. It sounds fair and professional, and it separates you from salespeople to an actually trusted sales expert that adds value to the client rather than trying to sell stuff to the client. These are the 8 words. I know you may be thinking, oh, I've heard all of these words, so how is this really gonna help me? Believe me or not, if you're a sales rep or you're having conversation, or you're trying to persuade someone to take action in an investment, if you use these sales words, you're likely to be able to enter the conversation that they're already having in their mind, but also able to provide them a service that would add value to them by using these words. I hope this video has been helpful. If this video has been helpful, smash the like button below, subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos. I look forward to sharing the next one.